said, man must act with the knowledge of good character and traits. That by virtue of such knowledge of ethics, he must not inflict sorrow on any other soul. He prohibits rage and wrath and commands all to act with consideration and courtesy, so that no one will be saddened by them.
He asks his followers not only to refrain from saddening people, but seek actively to bring them joy and happiness. This injunction is even more important, he states, in relation to women. This is very interesting considering the treatment of women, especially during this time in history. With this in mind, we share the following. Tahare, a prototype for womanhood. It has just become a new year, 2019. A waitress speaks. You know, it's hard to do my job. They only pay me $2.50 an hour. I work at a family restaurant in Milwaukee, and you can imagine what my tips add up to at the end of the week. This is the best I always wonder, is this the best I can do? I was married and I have 2 kids. My husband died a few years ago, so now I must make it on my own. In the evening, I dare not walk in the neighborhood where I live, and I always must know where my children are and if they are safe. They are so bright, but the schools, although they try hard, do not have time to motivate them to want to learn. The teachers try their best, but they have so few resources and so many children. I keep reading to my kids each day and hoping for the best. I pray a lot. That's all I can do. Wife from Persia, 1850. I must always be dressed in my veil and robes, my face hidden from others. It's hard to know exactly what's happening outside of my home and in our country. I have been hearing strange things about a wrathful woman who is breaking all of our traditions. I've heard that she left her husband and 3 kids and went off on her own. Well, that is unheard of. How could she do such a thing? The rumors are that she is radical in her beliefs and devotes her years studying and searching for the Qayyam, a new prophet, the promised one in Islam, and devotes her years to searching. She believes that the Qayyam is about to appear in the world. She's part of some new religion. I think it is called the Babi faith. Her name is Tahare. Another Persian wife in 1850. Oh, it is so nice to talk to you. It is said that Tahare is a most beautiful and intelligent woman. She loves history and literature and poetry. As a child, she memorized and discussed the Quran. She loved to stay at home and study in her father's quaint artistic library. I heard from a servant that she could often be heard chanting and praying, and I heard that she would often fast. My friend told me that she's a famous poet. Well, I have not read any of her poems. Of course, I could not do that. My husband would not approve it. I might be severely punished for doing such a thing, but the shocking thing I heard is this. and this was whispered to me by my neighbor, is that she teaches belief to others, men and women, talking to and teaching them from behind a curtain. This is not allowed. Relative of another Persian wife, 1850. But the worst thing she has done was in an assembly of men at a conference at Budapest. There she actually unveiled herself and revealed many new religious ideas. Imagine a woman doing a thing like that. I cannot fathom such a thing. This caused great upheaval and controversy, but the Bab, a leader of the new faith, before the concert of Budapest even occurred, in a letter named her Tahereh, meaning the pure one. He had first received a letter that she had sent to him. They had never met. In this letter, Tahereh said that she had had an astonishing dream in which the promised one appeared to her. She wrote to him, "The effulgence of thy face flashed forth, and the rays of thy visage arose on high. Then speak the word, am I not your Lord? And thou art, we will reply." She believed deep in her soul that the Bab, as he came to be called, was the promised one, the manifestation of God on earth. Thus I heard that she became a letter of the living. It was explained to me that the first 18 souls who recognized the manifestation of God on earth in 1844 were called the letters of the living. How could a woman be granted such an honor? Tahereh went on a search to find the Bab, but she never met him in person. Of course, she was soon captured and placed under house arrest. After the conference of the Dasht, well, I know it's shameful of me to say this to you, and I will only tell you if you really promise never to tell anyone, but secretly, I admire her. I cannot tell you how I got this poem. It was written by her. Let me read this to you. I would explain all my grief, dot by dot, point by point, if heart we talk, and face to face we meet. To catch a glimpse of thee, I'm wandering like a breeze from house to house, door to door, place to place, street to street. In separation from you, the blood of my heart gushes out by tears in torrent after torrent, river after river has woven your love to the stuff of life, strand by strand, thread by thread. A Persian woman follower who once heard Tahereh speak in 1852. Oh, I cannot tell you how profoundly I was changed after I actually heard Tahereh speak in person. She changed my life. Her strength and her certitude and conviction, it lifted me up and my soul rejoiced. I heard that Tahereh never met the Bab in person. He died before she could reach him. The Bab, which means the gate, was brought into the world to pave the way for Mahallah, the last promised one who has come to the earth, but not truly the last one. More prophets will follow. He was the founder of the Babi faith. Tahereh did meet him and even lived in Baha'u'llah's house. These were the most wonderful times in her life. There were many complicated situations that evolved in Tahereh's tumultuous life, but never did her faith or her spirit waver. She was even accused of killing someone. Of course, she was innocent. She left her husband, gave up her children, a most heartbreaking decision, but she was destined to be on another journey. Eventually, she knew she was to be martyred, which she accepted with grace. It is said that she dressed in a white gown, knowing that this was to be her last night on earth. She was suffocated with a scarf she provided, thrown in a pit, and covered with stones. A rape just speaks in 2020. I have continued praying for my family all year, but I need to tell you what happened to me. On December 31st, a kind of a miracle happened. I went to my mailbox, and inside was the following poem. Well, I didn't know where it came from, so I looked on the envelope, and I noticed that it said, written by Hannen prior to her death in 1852. I have read it so often. It has become a song now that I sing every day to my children. It brings us all peace. Arise. O slumbering one, the beloved has arise. Arise, brush off the dust of sleep and self. Arise, behold the goodwill has arrived. Come not before him with your tears. Arise, arise, the mender of concerns has come to you. O heavy-hearted one, arise. O one afflicted by separation, arise, arise. Behold the good tidings of the beloved's reunion. O ye withered by autumn, now spring has come. Arise, arise. Behold, the new year holds a fresh life. O withered corpse of yesteryear, up from your tomb, arise. A breakthrough speaks in 2021. I read that letter over and over to myself and my children, and we sang and we sang. I did some research and found out the following. In mid-1852, Hannen was executed in secret on account of her Bobby faith. She is hardly regarded by the Bobby faith and mentioned in the Bobby literature as an example of the struggle for human rights. Her date of birth is uncertain, as her personal records, unfortunately, were destroyed at her execution. Hannen is regarded as the prototype of womanhood. The liberation of woman has stemmed from the extraordinary actions of this 19th century poetress and spiritually gifted teacher, which is amazing. The Bob and the Bobby faith was revolutionary at its time, and today still offers us the best possible ideas for living in the future. The Baha'i faith, with the exception of the Christian faith, has been spread to more countries in the world than any other religion. Hannen said one thing I shall never forget. You can kill me as soon as you like, but you cannot stop the emancipation of women.
Thank you, Diane. And Colette has a prayer that she'd share. It's by the Hir Kanun, who is a prominent Baha'i.
O thou kind bestower, O nourisher of our souls and hearts, We have no aim except to walk thy path. We have no wish except to bring thee joy. Our souls are united and our hearts are welded, each to each. In offering thee our thanks and praise, in following thy ways and soaring in thy skies, we are all one. We are helpless. Stand thou by us and give us strength. Thou art the protector, the provider, the kind.
Everyone. We're going to perform for you a special song now, and that is inspired by the Bob, because the Bob was the first messenger from God in all the history of religion to promote the equality of women and men. This particular song, With Two Wings, was originally composed and provided lyrics by Red Grammer and arranged specially for tonight by Loralee. So with that, we're going to perform With Two Wings. With two wings, we can soar through the air. With two wings, we can go most anywhere. With two wings, sail through the sky. With two wings, we can fly.
I am one winged sister and mother. By myself, all I can do is flutter. I'm only one wing, I need the other, for the dove needs to fly.
With two wings, we can soar through the air. With two wings, we can go most anywhere. With two wings,
We can
sail through the sky. With two wings, we can fly. I am one winged father and brother. By myself, all I can do is flutter. I'm only one wing, I need the other for the dove of ease to fly. With two wings, we can soar through the air. With two wings, we can go most anywhere. With two wings,
we can
sail through the sky.